So whether you're just starting out in low and slow barbecue and you're looking to get your first smoker, or you're an experienced pitmaster and you're looking to broaden your horizons, there are plenty of different pits and plenty of different styles of barbecuing tools out there. You just got to know which ones to get. So if you're fresh, you're just brand new to barbecuing, and maybe you've only cooked on a gas hot plate barbecue outside, or maybe you've used a charcoal kettle grill like a Weber or a Oklahoma Joe's Blackjack or something like that, and you want to advance and get a proper tool that and specifically built just for smoking, well then there are a few options you have. The smoker that most people start off with, generally, or is what is advised to start off with, is a bullet smoker. They're your short, sort of mid-height, and they're shaped like a bullet, basically. Few brands that come to mind is the Weber Smoky Mountain, probably the most popular one. You've got a Pro Q. In Australia, we've got the Matador ones, which I think we used to call Finetto, which is like a Bunnings brand. Barbecues Galore have a few their own ones. There's a fair few different units like this out there, and basically what they are is your charcoal basket is in the bottom. You put your charcoal in the bottom, and you put your small wood chunks directly on the charcoal, and then there is a water pan which you fill that with water, and it sits up in the middle of the bullet smoker, and that's used as a stabilizer. Why a lot of people go for these type of smokers is they're easy to get started, and because of the water pan, they act as a heat stabilizer. So when you first light it up and you get your temperature to 250 Fahrenheit, say, for your cook, it tends to stay like that for the majority of the cook. And they're usually very fuel efficient too on burning your charcoal. And really all you need to pay attention to is opening the side dampers, keeping the exhaust open, and adding on your wood chunks or wood chips. But they're pretty, somewhat, for a full manual smoker, they're pretty set and forget, and they've got a pretty good and easy learning curve. So definitely a recommended smoker for beginners. Another one that beginners, intermediate, and experts all love is a ceramic egg type smoker. So your Big Green Egg, your Kamados, basically they are the big ceramic egg-shaped one, like I just said. They've got, so by ceramic, I mean they're plated all on the inside. Their heat retention is next to none. They hold their heat for the entire cook. They're very fuel efficient. They only need slight damper and exhaust adjustments. And they're very versatile. You can cook, barbecue, you can bake, you can roast, you can get high heat and direct sear with flame grill. You can smoke very low and slow. You can set a cold smoker up in there and do cold smoking. They are very versatile, but they are very expensive. They're very heavy, and because they're ceramic, they can break quite easily, but they are very versatile and very, very good. And like I said, very good for beginners and very good for experts. The only thing is they do come with a hefty price tag purely because of that, but they are a great unit and another good option for beginners across the board. And like I said, every other novice or expert. Another one that beginners love to use is a pellet grill. Now, I say beginners, but I've had them, experts have them, intermediate barbecuers have them. They're a great tool because they are effectively excellent smoker. You can use whatever flavor pellets you want, whatever type of wood, and they're set and forget. You turn it on, the pellets feed through the auger, and it heats up and it blows a fan to maintain the temperature that you've set. So you set the temperature, you light it up, and it's good to go. There's no charcoal required. You just got to fill up a hopper full of pellets of your choosing. Popular brands are Traeger, Pit Boss, and there are a lot of other ones coming up there as well. Green Mountain Grills. There's quite a few. Z Grills. So there are a few pellet smokers out there to choose from. Again, they're a bit pricey, not as pricey as ceramic grills, but they're not as versatile. Whilst some higher end models can grill at high heat, they are effectively made to stay sort of under the 350 Fahrenheit mark, no higher than that. And the downside is the higher you turn them up, the hotter it will burn, so you don't really smoke the wood chunks. You end up just using wood pellets as a fuel and not a lot of smoke. Where the lower you go, the better smoke you're going to get. And so they are really good for that. You can do an all-night... They're great for like a brisket cook, like all night. You know, you're talking a 15-hour cook or whatever. Set it on the night before. Usually they're controlled to like an app or a Bluetooth. Use smart thermometers or... and you can control it if you go out. You can see the temps. They are very, very good for that sort of cook. Very set and forget. You just got to keep refilling the the hopper full of pellets. They do, however, come in second best when it comes to flavour. Now, if you smoke for a long time, you will probably get the same as an offset or a ceramic grill or something, but as a general, their smoke penetration isn't as strong as if you're burning direct, but you still can get awesome results. There are a lot of haters out there on pellet grills. You got family, your kids. If you've got not a lot of time, they're great. And also, some people don't want to sit by the fire and do that all the time. I get that. I love doing that. A lot of people love doing that. But there are times where I'll just turn the Traeger on because I can't. I'm not. We want to cook. We've got results, and I've got other things to attend to. Yeah, so they are a great option. I really don't know why there's so much hate on them, especially when they're used in the competition barbecue a lot. But, you know, it's some old school people, just like anything, I think. There's hate on everything. But yeah, I love mine. Then you've got your offset smoker, the granddaddy, the king, the stick burner. Basically, this is, you've got your big chamber, and then a cooking chamber, and then a firebox on the side. And the firebox is where you will light your fire. Now, because they're used for cooking large amounts of meat and long burning, they're called a stick burner because originally you'd just load in your wood logs, you'd use splits, and you'd light them and you'd keep that burning. But a lot of people now, like myself, like to use a bed of charcoal, and then you put your log splits on the charcoal, and that's burnt down, you put your next one and your next one. So you're using charcoal for heat, but wood for flavour. The reason it's next to none, it's second to none for flavour, is you're literally burning a log of wood that is flowing across the meat. Now, I get with chunks of wood, you got the same thing that comes up, and all of that, you get the same amount of flavour. But the way the stick burner will work and the airflow coming out from the firebox over the food to the exhaust is an old school method. It's one of the best in my opinion. It's got the hardest learning curve, and a good unit will set you back a bit, but they are as authentic as it can get. Yeah, you got reverse flows as well, where the exhaust is on the other side of the cooking chamber towards the firebox. And what that does is the smoke comes in, and there are baffle plates, heat deflectors, and it goes under the baffle plates and then comes around back up the exhaust for a bit of extra flavour and a bit better oxygen flow. And it stabilises the heat better. But yeah, they're both types of good, original and reverse flow. So you talk your Oklahoma Joes, your Hark, your Yoda smokers for the premium brands. There are so many out there. A lot of folks over in the States will use their custom-made ones, their big trailer ones for competitions, basically because a lot of, pit manufacturers can build these out of real high-quality materials. They are expensive for a good one. If you buy a cheap one, you are going to regret it. The firebox will leak smoke. It will come out the chamber. It won't be sealed properly. You really want to pay for what you get with an offset smoker. Of course, the downside is for a beginner, you've got to babysit the whole time. This is not something you can set and forget and walk away from, like a bullet smoker or even a ceramic. You walk away for more than 10 minutes. And like if I've gone inside or whatever to do something and I'm more than 10 minutes, I'll start to panic a little bit. I'm going to go, because, it's airflow, it's oxygen. It just they're a lot more temperamental than any other smoker, and they don't stabilize heat as well. They do stabilize it, but there's a lot more damper control and fire management and placement of the meat that's required. So that's why they are more the expert, further intermediate pit. But in saying that, it was my very first smoker as a beginner, and my very first cook was a brisket. I've told this story lots of times, and it was a disaster. But I figured start with the king of proteins and the king of smokers, and everything else should be easy. But yeah. Of course, you got other ones like gas smokers, so gas bottle plugged in, upright smoker, pan of wood chips at the bottom. I'm not a fan of these. They're good to start off with. I've had one, but they do mislead you if you're a beginner in how smoking would work, and it kind of sets you up for failure when you go into the real thing with a live fire. However, you can get good results out of them, so not going to knock them for that. They are a good beginner tool as well. Using a Weber or a charcoal kettle grill as well, you can lower slow smoke in them. A lot of people do it. There are a lot of videos on YouTube and a lot of people that show tutorials on that, because a lot of people still have a Weber kettle or some form of, Bunnings jumbuck kettle barbecue around, and basically it's indirect. So you got your coals on one side, usually a heat deflector. I've got a video of me using a brick in the early days of this channel as a heat deflector, which you can do, or you can buy proper ones for, Weber accessories and things like that. And then your protein on the other side, thermometer in, small amount of charcoal, using only wood chips because it's a very small cooking area. and you don't want to smolder that wood, wood chips will burn easier. So you put them on and close the lid, dampers on, and you can smoke on that. You can get amazing results on a Weber or a kettle grill if you know how to use it right. So again, very versatile, great for beginners. So I'm sure there's more I've missed there, but they're your primary sort of smoker pits that people are going to use. So like I said, some are better for beginners, some are better for experts, some are fine across the board for no matter where your skill level is. It's really down to you. It comes down to your space. It comes down to how much time you want to spend. Do you want to babysit a fire with a giant unit like an offset smoker for an entire brisket cook? Do you want something that's small, can fit in your porch? You don't need to feed a whole large group of people, but you want to be able to smoke, grill, roast. Then a ceramic egg might be for you. Do you just want to occasionally pull out a bullet smoker and do your cooks on there and do some pork butts or some chicken wings or something and enjoy playing with a live fire? Then a bullet smoker might be for you. Are you happy with a basic Weber kettle that you'll grill on and sometimes want to smoke things up, or even just do a quick grill but add a bit of smoke flavour in there with some wood chips? Then a kettle's going to be your way to go. Are you a fan of the entire set and forget, smoke everything, not too fussed about super high heats, but you want something where you buy the bag of pellets, pour it in, and you're done, and you can, geek out over the stats and look at it on the phone and Bluetooth and turn it off and leave it overnight and not worry? Then a pellet grill's for you. So there are lots of different pits. I've had them all, and I'm sure I'll have plenty more. But yeah, they've all served their purpose. There is no right or wrong answer. It is what works for you. What are you going to enjoy? What are your space requirements? Where's your setup? How much money do you want to spend on fuel and woods and things like that? How strong do you want your smoke flavour to be? How many people you're cooking for? So many variables, and don't listen to what anybody says. What works for you, and you do you and run your own race when it comes to your barbecue pit. So there you have it, folks. Hope this helped. Hope it allows you to dive into a little bit more research about each type of pit, and you can make the right decision for you no matter where you're at on your barbecue journey. Cheers. Thanks for watching.